Yo, welcome to our sixth or seventh Optimized Media podcast. Today, we're going to be discussing and putting our opinions revolving around one topic, and that is social life. We're going to be revolving around one simple question: is social life in high school worth it? But before that, to give you a brief introduction, my name is Juwan. I am a junior. I go to school, and me and Cam actually runs Optimize, where we try to develop leadership skills for students, where we put forth optimal optimal tools that people could use to develop their leadership and self improvement, and all that people could use for development. Cam, you have any words for your introduction?
What's up? I am Cam. I go to the school right next to Juwan's, and yeah, Juwan basically said it. We have a club that's a self-improvement club, and we're here spreading it onto YouTube. Yeah, that's basically it.
All right, good to hear that. Starting with the first question that I'm really curious about, and the biggest one in this podcast: do you think it's worth it to have social life in high school?
Comes down to if it is hurting you or not hurting you, right? And I think that's one thing that we have to establish throughout this podcast is like, what are the goals of the people that, or what's the premise of these questions? Because like, sure, it's good to have a social life if your goal is to want a social life or your goal is to be the most charismatic person. Yeah, of course it's good to have a social life. But when it comes to my goals, I'm pretty sure probably close to Juwan's goals too. It's to be good in all aspects, which is to have good grades, to somehow have a way to make money, and obviously to have good relationships. So now social life, we also should define, which is probably like, when I think of it, it's like going out with your friends at least once a week and like texting them once a day or like having a funny moment in the group chat. That's kind of what I think of when I think about social life. Maybe it's like even talking to girls, right? It's really things that don't involve your work or your health. So is it worth it to have a social life? I think it comes down to like a lot of smaller questions, right? Because you do want friends, but you don't want too many friends. You do want to talk to girls, but you don't want to talk to too many girls, or you don't even want to talk to girls. Like, um, so I think we should break it down a little bit more. Uh, do you got any more specific questions?
Yeah, I think the first real question I wanted to ask was, what is your social life looking like right now? I believe a lot of people are curious on what we are doing, not what we are saying, right? So, what is your social life
Sure.
looking like right now?
My social life looks. I mean, I got like a tight little
Yeah.
circle. I don't got that much of a social life. I'm gonna be honest, but I mean, I guess we'll figure out why as we go through the podcast. But really, I really got like two, three friends, like four friends. If I'm friends with you, then like I really do talk to you a lot, and I don't really talk to many people. So it really just comes down to like I don't spend time with people that I don't spend time with. And then once in a while, I will go out and I will have like a out of school event or a club or whatever. But I don't go around like talking to everyone. I mean, I'll dab people up that I see in the hallways. I know a good amount of people. Um, I try to be charismatic, but not into friend groups. I don't have a I don't have a girlfriend. I don't talk to too many people. I'm really just close with like my tight group of people. Um, so some people would consider that I don't have a social life.
I think for me, I could relate bits and parts of it. Um, I feel like right now I do have some type of social life. I feel like I have a really small circle too. I consider that. I could only name a few people that I'm really tight with, who I talk on a regular basis, who I can actually trust.
Mhm.
Like you have those like small circles, and then it gets bigger and bigger, and the more
Yeah,
bigger it gets, like the lesser you know them, the lesser you trust them.
yeah,
I feel like I go out every once or other week. that doesn't mean, I go out to party and stuff. Maybe it's just a night out and some dinner or some poker nights. Poker nights can't go wrong.
Yeah.
Some gym days too, and that's really about it. I consider myself to have a bit of a social life, but not as much as people expect, especially within like social media and like popularity, bro. In terms of that, I don't give a crap. Like at this point, I learned that those things don't matter. How much followers you have don't matter. Your snap score doesn't matter. I try to let go of those, and I did let go of those completely, and I'm thankful for that. I'm thankful for that.
I feel you. I feel you. A lot of people are gonna be mad at me. What snap score
Yeah, I
does it
know, right?
matter?
Oh, my snap score. Bro, fun fact. Yeah, I'm a freaking loser for this. Um, in middle school, I was trying to get my snap score up, so like I was searching up YouTube videos on how to get my snap score up. So what I would do is I would add these like celebrities into my friend list, and then I'll like triple snap them, and then my snap score would like gain 1,000. I'd be like,
Bro,
yes,
yes,
yes.
bro. I got to 400K.
I know, right?
Bro, that's crazy. That is crazy.
So I could tell that you're definitely really disciplined within, how much you go out in your work life and separating that from your social life. What is your motto or what is your mentality regarding social life, if you have any?
Um, it's like, is it worth it? I gotta ask that question. Recently,
Right.
I was trying to, and I'm like, I know you have that same motto. Recently, I've been trying to experiment with social life. So let's say, let's say I go out to Garba, right? I just went out to Garba like last weekend. I went there to like listen like 8 to 10. I saw some cool dudes, right? I danced around, but like, was it worth it? I mean, I had fun, but like, you know what I mean? Like, what did I do? What did I learn? What did I grow? So it's like, yeah, it was fun, but like, did I do anything? No. Same like the week before that, I went to Phillips Farm, and which is like some fun event that kids in our neighborhood do, and to a football game the same day. That was fine. It was fine. Did I grow from it? Did I learn from it? No. I kind of just wasted sleep. So like my motto is like, is it worth it? Because yeah, it's worth it if you go out and you're like with friends, you become closer with your friends or something. And so I ask that every time I go out. Right? What is your motto, Juwan?
I think it's really in the same note. Is it worth it? I ask myself, is it worth it? I've been experimenting too. Starting from like summer-ish, like I've been trying to go out more. Not too much, like every week or every other week. Um, I haven't been to a single football game, but last week I think I went to Hoko. Um, Phillips one I didn't go, but I've been trying to go out, and I asked myself this question, if I hadn't gone to that event, if I had not gone to that, would I have some type of regret? Would I would I had, like FOMO, but I don't really
Yeah,
get FOMO too much, not oftenly. If I don't, if I am not going to regret it, don't if I will not feel like I'm missing out on anything, then I say, if it's not even worth it, if I'm not really gaining anything out of it, if I'm not even having like the best time ever with the people I love, if it's not something like that, then I'm like, I don't need this.
yeah,
I could just
yeah,
I could do some other things that are more productive. I definitely have more things to do, better things to do than just go to somewhere because that's the worst thing that you could be doing when you're at some place or doing something, but you could be doing something else.
I know, bro. Yeah, yeah,
Like let's say you went to Garba, but like in the middle of it, you're trying to have fun, but you can't really have fun because you're like, oh shoot, you know, if I hadn't gone on this, I could be, reading that book. I could be like
yeah.
scripting this. I could be getting caught up with this. That's the worst thing that I hate to feel. So to really avoid that, I do what you do.
Some people would call that like workaholic, right? That you can't have fun.
Workaholic.
They just want to work. What do you think about that?
Um, I think I think it's I think it really depends. Um, but I'm more on the positive side that it's something that you could use to your advantage. If you love working so much, maybe don't overload yourself because, like, we know from deep work that you can't be working 8 hours. So be wise with what you do. Also, take a step back so you could get harder at it the next day, harder at it the next day, and then on and on. But if you are a workaholic, or if you are not a workaholic but want to be a workaholic, then use it to your advantage because I think I think that's a good mindset to have where what you're truly enjoying is work, and what I enjoy is deep work. Sometimes I even enjoy deep work more than like going out. It really like it's like a satisfaction
More
to
than
me. It's like
pulling out.
yeah, it's
So
you got to be addicted to something, and if I'm gonna be addicted to something, then I'd rather be addicted to the deep work lifestyle than any other thing. But what do you think? What do you think? What are your views on the workaholic mindset? Do you think that is something that is negative to you, or do you think that is something that is positive?
in my opinion, um, this comes down to like a work-life balance thing, right? I remember Hormozy saying something about this. I didn't actually watch the video, but he was getting all messed up about work-life balance. It's a lie that society tells you. And I'm like, that's kind of facts because as someone that has no social life or kind of, it's not like it's like you just kind of get used to something, just like how you get used to anything, right? So, it's like if I'm doing work all day and I never have life, quote life, then it's like, oh my gosh, people are saying I don't have anything to look forward to. I'm like, oh, he's probably so depressed. But really, it just comes down to like, are you fulfilled or are you not fulfilled? Some people get fulfillment from their life, right? And that's good. Like maybe they have a good social life, or really they just don't have a fulfilling work life. So, in my opinion, I have a pretty fulfilling work life when it comes down to like doing podcasts and making videos and doing well in school. But and that just makes me not really need a social life. And then in a sense, I become a workaholic because like, oh, he never goes out. Yeah, I don't go out, I guess, but I'm still fulfilled from that. So I think that it is positive as long as you're fulfilled from your work, and it's not detrimental to your social life. Because on like to add to what I said earlier, sometimes people are workaholics and they literally don't have a social life. They literally don't talk to people in their family. Like they don't go out of the room. Then it's like, okay, bro, you kind of need
Yeah.
to like that's just kind of being mean to the people around you. But if it's not actually being detrimental to the people around you, then like, yeah, dude, be a workaholic. Get what you came here for. You know what I mean?
I think I could argue that you have to have a balance and you have to have some type of social life, though, even if you're a workaholic. I want to refer back to a book that I've read regarding around social life, and it's called Lost Connections by I think a guy named Johan Harris. It's been a while ago, so I might have forgot a lot of things. And he just pointed out that depression and anxiety, the one of the biggest problems in the U.S. and throughout the country, and the whole world, the whole nation, exactly. He says that they are primarily caused by loneliness, and you're like, oh yeah, that's obvious, obviously. But the people who have anxiety and depression, at least most of the people, or some of the people, I can't remember the exact statistics, say that they think that it is due to natural defects or their nerves or their neurons or something that's going on in their body biologically.
Yeah.
And he argues in the book that he breaks it down in the book into nine biggest causes of anxiety and depression. I'll just list it out real quick, but I really want to focus on one aspect that we were talking about today. But number one is this disconnection from meaningful work, obviously, and then disconnection from people, from meaningful values, from child trauma, from status and respect, from the natural world, from a hopeful and secure future, and the eighth and ninth causes, the lowest ones, are from the brain.
Hmm.
I want to point out too one cause, and he said disconnection from people, and that is the exact definition of loneliness. In the book, he pointed out that you're more likely to catch the common cold exactly by times 3 if you are feeling lonely, depressed, or stressed. Isn't that crazy?
Wow, that's pretty crazy.
3 times more likely. That may not be like the exact statistics, but that's what the book pointed out to me. And while I was reading that, I was like, "Holy crap, man! That is crazy." And then he dove deeper in the book. He said that think about it just from a different perspective. Like biologically, we are primates. We are members of a tribe. So imagine if we are surviving by ourselves. We're basically relying on ourselves to live on our own. Stress is going to skyrocket. And you may say, oh, that stress is good, fight or flight response. But if that is done in a prolonged period, if you're lonely, if you're trying to look for people but you can't, then stress is going to be on the roof, man. And that
Yeah.
is where I think the negative consequences occur. And one thing he pointed out more was that people who are lonely, as time goes on, the more lonely they get and the less they want to interact people. So you
Dang.
think like if you separate yourself from people for a week, you'd be like by the end of the week, the person will, thirst for some social life. And yeah, maybe that's true. But for a month, for a year, for years, after that, the people will no longer have a desire for social interactions. And I even heard this from Andrew Huberman. He's a Stanford professor of ophthalmology and
Yeah.
neurobiology. I heard it in his podcast too. And those are some crazy statistics that made me realize social life is so damn important
Hmm.
in any aspect of your life. That was
That's
just
very
some major
true.
points that I got from that book. And personally, I experienced similar things. I remember during freshman year, I would feel really left out. I would feel like I don't belong to a group, and that was true. And as time went on, sophomore and junior, I went on clubs. I actually joined the gym for the first time in my life, and I just felt so positive. I felt so good about myself. I was actually on my shit. I was getting bigger and bigger. I was bulking up. I was doing the things that I wanted to, and I had these people around me who supported me. I think that was my own personal experience. Right.
Hmm. So are you saying that it's bad? It's negative to be a workaholic?
No, but what I'm trying to say is, I think even for workaholics, they need to have a balance.
Okay.
Like you said,
Hmm.
workaholics can't just be like, um, not talking to your family or like not talking to anybody, just focused on
Yeah.
work. At that point, that's too far. Okay, even though if you love work so much, I feel like that's too far. At least having some interactions with loved ones, with family, I think that's so important because I think that's
That's
what
true.
what it's all about. Work is important, but still having that social life. It doesn't mean going to parties. Doesn't mean going out. Just means sharing good times with good people.
Hmm. Hmm. That makes me question myself because I really don't do that. I very much prioritize the work that I do, and then, I tell myself, oh, I have a family that supports me and surrounds me that's good enough for me, because I have like, they're basically my friends. And so I don't really have like a social circle. I have friends, but I don't have like a circle. Um, it makes me realize like maybe I should. What do you think about just like having your family? Do you think that is enough?
See, that's the thing that I only had in quarantine or during the lockdown. Everyone was isolated. Everyone was put away from their homes. We were locked down in our houses. I cut off every single person that I could think of because I got off of Instagram, off of iMessages, off of every game that I could think of. And that just makes you realize, how less of friends that you have that you could actually trust. Because once you stop talking to them and they start not talking to you, all you have is family. So during that time, I had the mentality, I'm going lone wolf. All I need is family.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I was focused, I was driven. Um, but I think I just lacked one part of my life, and that was just having people outside from my family that I actually trust, and having um, sharing good times with them. Family is good enough for me, but to take a step further into social life, I still need my friends. I still need loved ones that I could trust outside, and that is my personal opinion. What do you think about that, Cam?
I don't know. I was just asking because I'm currently in that situation where I'm more of like don't need friends out of my family type of guy. Maybe I should experiment more with that. My main my main back my main like blocker is just the time that it would take me. Do you think that, let's say you spend an hour a week with friends or 3 hours a week, because that's probably like what the expected rate would be. Do you think that 3 hours a week invested not into your work but into a social life is better?
I think it is, but it depends on who you surround yourself with.
Hmm.
Because those hours that you spend, I realize it could actually like open up some perspectives that you don't have in the first place. Since we're in like this circle of self improvement, focus on yourself. But I realize that this whole circle is really biased, and that we have just like one view. Work hard, stay disciplined, be productive,
Yeah.
and that's good and all. But there's some like other valuable values that for me personally that I have blind spots on. And if I spend time with other people, I'm like, they're doing something different, maybe I should try.
Hmm.
I can't really think of like exact values or anything that I got from them, but I think it just opens me up to other perspectives and really about who you surround yourself with. We all know that you are the average of the 5 people that you're most closest with. So let's say you surround yourself with, the party guys, the popular people, versus surround yourself with respectful, with hardworking people, with actual men, not boys, with girls that you could have actual good conversations with. That's going to be a whole lot different, right?
Hmm.
Do you think that investing in some time for social life will be worth it for you? Are you
Yeah.
considering?
Just depends on the people, right? It's just like it's hard to find those people right away because you have to find those people, right? And usually those people aren't the ones that you can find easily because they don't do like typical social things. Um, so like it's probably one of those things where at first you have to find the person, and that might take like 10 hours, right? 10 hours to make sure that the people, or to like experiment, talk to people, talk to different kinds of people, spend time with these people before you know that it's someone that you want to really spend time with. And then from there, it's like, okay, this really is productive, but those 10 hours that you're trying to spend, it feels like you don't know when it's going to end. And I don't even know if it's 10 hours, right? I never have tried, but this is just my thought process right now. Um, and so you don't know if it's going to be worth it because you're spending so much time right now up front before you get that initial payback, right? You're spending, it's like, when are you going to get paid? And so, if when you do have that friend, it's worth the pay, then that's good. But like not knowing when that pay will come, not knowing when you're going to find a friend that is actually good is probably the reason why I don't actually go and find new friends and why I don't typically go out and talk to so many different people and try to really become close friends with them. Just because I'm I feel good where I am. So it makes me realize that that's something that I probably do want to try more. Maybe go out a little bit more, find those people.
I think we think terms of friendship in terms of ROI, return on investment. I think I sometimes think of it as what I can get back from the people, what I could receive
Mhm.
from our interactions, and I think that's just a bad mentality. I
Mhm.
think at the end of our lives, friendship is just going to be where we share values, where I give and also receive. But I think I need to think in terms of giving instead of receiving too much, right? But I still have to value my time, my work. So there will be things that I'll try to put in first, but I still got to try to give more than expect to receive, right?
True. True. What would you how would you go about like making a new friend that you know could be someone that you spend more time with?
Um, like what I think of it, like as a good or a
What
negative.
what what would you like when you say giving rather than having the mentality of what am I going to receive from this?
Yeah.
Like what kind of actions like let's say you're trying to make a new friend, what would you do?
Um, it's a good question. I think I would just start off with trying to go out, trying to go to the gym first, having a good conversation and the sound of talks go crazy. So really starting
Mhm.
off from there and just getting caught up with him, trying to put him into self-improvement. I've been trying to give other people some books recently. I actually
Mhm.
have like 3 books stolen, bro, from my friends. I'm
Wow.
missing Can't Hurt Me from David Goggins, bro.
You gave away
Uh,
Goggins? No.
I gave away Goggins. I gave away Ego as the enemy. I gave away so much. Actually, from
Damn.
Andrew, bro. Andrew took Goggins.
No, bro. He better be using it, bro.
Yeah. Um, I can't really think in terms of specifics. What would you do, Cam?
I don't know. That's why I kind of ask. I'm not. I honestly, dude, I kind of like spent all my social money at the beginning of my self-improvement journey. I was into like how to friends and influence people, influence all that stuff. So I was talking to everybody, bro, and I kind of got so lazy with that because like I become fine with my friends, and like me, it's not like I want to make new friends, but like just get closer with them. But dude, I just realized how fucking how old I've gotten with
Bro,
the
same.
whole social
Like
thing, dude.
freaking
I feel like
freshman year, I read that what's it called? How to Win Friends and Influence People, and I'll go crazy. I'll go
I
crazy.
know,
Like I can't
I
imagine.
know, bro.
Like some things I said were stupid, but sometimes I was so brave. Like I would just go up to anybody and just start talking. Like even
Exactly.
girls, I would start talking. But like nowadays, I have that feeling. I'm good enough right now. I don't really want to make like it's not necessary to make new friends, and I gotta
Yeah,
like walk in on this work. So I haven't been talking to
that's
many
true.
new people. I've been cold approaching. I haven't been doing nothing crazy, like even for girls. Yeah, that's me right now. But me when I was reading How to Win Friends and Influence People, I could I
Yeah.
could list some dumb things and some good things that I've done.
I guess it's like what are we prioritizing right now? Because when we were doing that, social life was the most important thing that we've ever had, right?
Yeah.
So of course we were gonna be crazy at it. And then we got the social life, so it's like we don't need it anymore. But now it's like work is probably the most important thing in both of our lives, and it's like we don't have the rewards from work yet. Like we don't have our business yet. We haven't gotten into a crazy college yet. So it's like that's why we have that mentality. And so like when after we get that, we're gonna think back to this moment and we're gonna be like, bro, I used to be freaking crazy with my work, bro. I used to wake up at 5 a.m. Like used to be doing this. Like maybe we still be, but it'd be like, dude, I was going crazy every day, bro. Like, oh my gosh. So it's like it just kind of depends on what we're doing right now. That's probably why we've gotten lazy with that stuff. Um, I think that, dude, I think that we just need to. I think that one of my main focuses right now is going to be adding to the friends that I already have, like hanging out with them more. because like I do have friends, but like, dude, I just realized I I was planning to hang out with someone this weekend, right? It just never happened because like I didn't make it a priority, dude. I need to make it
Yeah.
more of a priority to like talk to people, hang out with people because yeah, it is super important.
So how often do you think you will actually, would you set yourself like how much you will? Would you set yourself a limit to how much you will hang out per week?
A limit? Yeah, dude. I thought you were about to say minimum. I mean, or I was about to be like, how much would you? I was like, shoot, 1 hour, maybe. I was like, I was thinking like maybe half an hour.
Bro, the thing
Oh
is,
shoot, when can I fit this into my schedule, bro?
yeah, 15 minutes a day, call it a day. 15-minute per week, call it a day.
Get my daily texts in, increase
Bro,
my
but the,
social
but
life.
the thing is like even for today, I had to like turn down so many so I'm not even like saying this just to say this. I had to just turn
Yeah,
down my buddies wanted to play sports. Well, but I was like, I gotta do this meeting with Optimize. And even though
yeah,
like on the weekend my friends want to go out, but I'm always the guy to turn down stuff unless it's like really big, like Hoko or go to the
yeah,
gym or go to like somebody's birthday party. So it kind of hurts to turn down every single time.
yeah, yeah. My friends just stopped inviting me, bro.
They're like, this guy's never about to come in the first place.
Yeah, yeah. Like as soon as I got off Snapchat, because that's where the group chat was. The Snapchat's on group chat. I mean,
Yeah,
the group chat's on Snapchat, right? That's
yeah,
where
yeah,
everyone hangs out. It's like once you get off Snapchat, it's like you just stop getting invited. Like you're just not in the
bro.
group chat anymore. So
For
that's what hurt me.
for my wrestling season, they had a group chat and Snapchat. And the first time I joined, they invited me to the the group chat in Snapchat, and like throughout the season, I didn't go on it once, and I realized like
Yeah,
I don't know what the hell was happening throughout like the rest of the season. I wasn't getting invited to nothing. And I was like, yo,
yeah, yeah. It's like
um,
it's like we want to be more productive, right? It's like you just don't get invited to things if you're not on the social media, and that's probably one of the main reasons people have social media. Um, and FOMO, right? It's because they don't want to miss out. But in my opinion, it's not one of those things that you need to do. Like we said earlier, it's like, is it worth it? Um, but dude, I completely get what you mean with like, you just don't know what's going on in your life, and you just become ignorant, dude. Like I think one time, people like literally posted me on their story because I was sitting on a tree like reading in like during smart lunch. I was just like on a tree reading because I had to read for a class for Lang. And then apparently someone posted me the story like, why does Cam look so aesthetic? And my friend sent it to me, and I'm like, why are people talking about me on social media, bro? It's like what? People, there's this whole world that I've no idea about because I'm not on social media, dude.
bro, one time I think I was walking to school, and like this girl came up to me, and she said, "Yo, one of my friends sent me something," and she was like, "Yo, she said your posture is like the best she's ever seen." And it's probably because like I walk like that. I'd be like, I was like, "Thank you." Like my friends say I walk stupid because like I walk like a robot or something. I don't know. Man. I try to have my chest out, Cam knows what's up.
Yeah, he a lobster for real. He a
It's like
lobster.
every time I gotta walk to school, I'm kind of embarrassed at the same time because like I gotta walk and then I gotta get my posture straight.
Dude,
That's out.
I'm not as strict with it anymore, but I literally used to like I would be studying and I would literally be like this, like in the cafeteria or something, and I'd just be doing a Quizlet or something, and people would come up to me like, yo, why are you recording me? I'd be like, bro, I'm just doing a Quizlet.
Because you go like this. That's actually funny.
It's like so we're just so off topic now, but for the listeners, it's like we don't have a social life, but we don't know about it. And it's like
No, no.
if you
Yeah.
if you think you're missing out, it's not really. It's like just these things happen behind you. You just don't even care because you're busy in your own world. And in our worlds, at least, we're more productive. Like we're doing the things that actually matter. Um, compared to like I don't know, being caught up with what Timothy and I don't know, bro. Like what is even
Insane.
going on back there? It's it's like just look in the future, see where you are, see where you're going, and it's like what's social media gonna take you? because like the FOMO and stuff, not really taking you much, not really taking you anywhere.
Oh, I have a pretty good question to ask you. I think the
Okay.
viewers might be curious about this too. What is your screen time? Screen
Um,
time review. Screen time
like
review.
like an hour.
Like an
I think
hour.
that most of my screen time today is spent on my camera app because I was recording a video.
Yeah. Hey,
I mean,
bro.
I text people.
Looking around, the screen time is crazy for a lot of people. Like even 5 hours or 4 hours. My
Yeah, dude,
gosh,
that's like, geez,
that's
bro,
like
what do you be
half the
doing?
time you sleep. That's the half the time you sleep.
I know. That's that's just insane to me that people don't value their time that much. Um, and that's probably why they go to social life so much because they don't value their time enough to say no to the social life. Because they really, if you're having 4 hours of social of screen time, probably means you don't have anything better to do. Which means that whenever someone asks you to hang out, you're like, oh, perfect. Because like it's just fun. Um, yeah, yeah.
I think
What
a
is your
really
screen
good
time?
thing to point out, and it's a really actionable step that you could take, is saying
Mhm.
no. I think you mentioned this. There's a book called The Art of Saying No. I haven't really read it. I only read like 10 pages of it. But I think it's valuable if you're somebody who really can't say no when in terms of like social
Mm,
times or when you're asked to go out, you're like you can't resist, right? You can't resist. That was me some time ago.
yeah,
Now I'm trying to even as of right now, I'm trying to improve how to say no while not really disapproving them and um
exactly. Yeah,
yeah, saying no,
that
I
is one
think.
problem of mine as well. It's like as I get into more of management, like managing people, or like let's say I'm trying to book a meeting for Optimize, right? And I'm trying to set it up with with people. It's like let's say my friend Shrikar, he's the guy to be setting up the meeting with the advisor. It's like maybe he doesn't respond to me for a week. I'm like, dude, whoa, what's going on, bro? This was your task. Why aren't you doing it? And then like this happens over and over. I'm like, dude, I just can't have you. I just can't be doing this. We need you. We need someone to do this. And it's like it just comes down to like how do I say like you're not doing a good job? How do I say no? And so it kind of you lose this social life with people when you move up the when you move up to like when you it becomes a hierarchy. Um, so that's kind of a problem I'm facing right now. But that's probably something that more will become a problem in careers and as you go throughout life.
Yeah, those social interactions are really important. I remember in a lot of parts of the book of how to win friends and influence people, the people that Dale Carnegie, the author, would list out, they all had some crazy ability to talk to people and even like turn down to them
Yeah,
while making them feel good. Like I remember one time a famous figure were talking to a crowd of teenagers smoking cigarettes, and this is like back in the days, in the streets. And he was like, he told them in such a way. I think he like gave them a pack of cigarettes at the same time while saying to stop smoking cigarettes. And he probably did that in such a good way while they felt good to stop smoking cigarettes, to stop what they're doing, and to be really that influencer. I got a lot of respect for them.
yeah, it's really an art, bro. That happened to me just the other day. One of my teachers said no to me, and she just like I felt good even though she said no. It like motivated me. I'm like, geez, who is this woman? And I guess she's like the career coordinator. She's like the business person at the school. So I can see
Makes
why
sense.
she's in that business. She's pretty good at that stuff. Um, I want to move into a different question since we are talking about we kind of got a little bit off topic. I wanted to ask you what your opinion is on dating in high school.
Well, honestly, I'm not really like a crazy master or anything. I've had 0 hours in dating. But my opinion, as somebody who hasn't dated and somebody who's trying to be more focused, I think it depends. But the priority, you have to keep the priority straight, and that is your work life. So even while you date, I think you have to, minimize the time out, minimize some wasteful time because people who date, I see that they are on their phone every single freaking hour. They are FaceTiming
Yeah,
till 11 p.m. And people who don't date say the reason they don't date is because they don't want to invest so much time in it. And I could totally agree with them.
yeah,
So always keeping your work life straight. I know from the book The Way of the Superior Man by David Gadea or something. He says
they
that,
need to.
yeah, David Gadea, whatever. He says to keep your work the number one priority, even above moment. That is
Yeah.
my personal view. What about yourself, Cam?
Personally,
Charis-
I know that
charis-
work is the priority, but I want to know if it actually like takes away from your work life if you date, right? Because like minimum you have to spend like 3 hours a week probably with
yeah.
with your girlfriend or something. So I don't know if that'd be worth it. Depends on. I think if you spend too much time with it and you don't have the right partner, then it becomes detrimental to your work life. But like 3 hours a week could become a positive to your work life if it actually increases your work life. Like, let's say your girl is actually someone that you like to talk to, which is not anyone that I found. Um, this person probably will increase your work life, especially if you have tools to increase your testosterone every week, right? It's like a free testosterone boost.
Right? You're using her for a testosterone boost.
What?
You're gonna be using her for a testosterone boost every time. Every time you see her, hey, like not in a weird way, you know.
Hey, it's like
Yeah.
it's like, hey, I need you some testosterone. But yeah, that's the main argument. It's like, uh, I don't know. I just kind of want to see if it makes my work better. If having somebody that compliments me makes my work better, because I've seen with my friends, like my friend Benny, he recently started dating someone. He hasn't been as productive with his work, I think. Like
Oh,
he hasn't been
Benny,
uploading
let's
YouTube as
go.
much, but
Let's go,
his
Benny.
personality has kind of like for I don't like it's like went from coal to like diamond. I don't know. It's kind of just become more himself. You know what I mean? Just kind of became more structured, and I can see that he's just like seems like a better man. And that's something that I want to see if that happens to me for myself. It's just like they can make you better. It's like it's a big investment, right? They can make you either really better or really worse. And I don't know. I think just having somebody like that that could possibly possibly compliment me in a way that makes me better is something that I would invest in. Um, I don't
Maybe it's
know.
that
I,
energy.
I one thing that kind of when I was thinking about this, I was like I was like my main thought, right? My main thought is like I'll do it later, right? I got too much stuff going on right now. But then I thought to myself, when will I ever not have stuff going on? Right? I'll always be working towards something. I'll always be like trying to do my work. So it's like I'll always have that excuse. So it's like, why am I even? What does that excuse even mean if I'm always gonna have it? So it's like I don't know. That just kind of changed my opinion. If my main excuse is not valid.
And that's a good view. That's a really good viewpoint. Because I say the same thing, you know. Later when I get to college or like after I graduate high
Yeah,
school, because high school relationships are not gonna last. That's one of the big reasons.
yeah,
But I'm always gonna have stuff going on. Same to you.
yeah.
That's a good viewpoint. Do you think that the common myth of saying that high school relationships won't last, do you think that's a good reason to not date in high school?
Okay, before I say this, I was gonna say my phone's at like 4%. So after this question, we should probably wrap up.
All right.
Um, but I'd say I know, like those high school couples, those high school sweethearts. Those are the best couples, bro. My uncle, my great aunt and uncle, they're high school sweethearts. They've known each other for like 60 years. And Jordan Peterson and his wife, they're high school sweethearts. They're like a great couple. It's like they can't exist. They're pretty rare, but they always seem like just perfect for each other. So it kind of just depends on if you meet the right person in high school, right? And you obviously are mature enough and invest enough time while you're in high school. So it's like I don't know, you're not likely to meet that person in high school, but then again, it's not like you want to get like experience, but you don't want to be like that guy that goes into college and doesn't know how to talk to a girl. So it's like I don't think it's a valid thing. Sure, it's true, like it usually won't work, but that's usually just because high schoolers aren't mature. And if you're mature enough, and if your girl is mature enough, then it's probably gonna last a good amount of time.
Yeah, I really love how you said that. Um, but I still think personally that I won't really pursue a relationship, at least in high school. And
Hmm.
that's just my personal belief. I think I have to be more focused because, like you said, it's gonna take some time out of your time. But at the same time, I need to learn how to stay focused while maintaining that relationship because, like, one day I'm gonna have one, and it's gonna be in the
Yeah,
middle of my hard work. So I'm gonna learn eventually. Yeah.
yeah.
So to
Honestly,
wrap things up,
honestly, I don't think it'll get any easier after high school, right? You're gonna be even in more of a competition. Like we think that this is the competition right now to get into a good college, but it's like, dude, I was listening to these 20-year-olds the other day. They were talking of like it was literally they were only talking about the competition. That's all. That was their whole hour-long conversation. Like I was just chilling in the gym. It was like a small gym, neighborhood gym. These two like 20-year-olds talking. Their whole talks. Oh, this guy, he's making like 40K a month out of dude. I knew he was not gonna do that good. You know Jeremy? Yeah, Jeremy's making like 200K, bro. Oh my gosh, who does he know? Dude, I was talking to this guy the other day. I was like, I needed to talk to him for this investment baking thing. I was like, these guys are like crazy, bro. It made me realize how much of a competition it is outside of school. And it's like it doesn't get any easier, bro. It's just like more responsible stuff that you have to do. So yeah, yeah.
yeah, man. To really wrap things up for anybody who's watching, man, you're a real one if you're watching to this point. We kind of went off topic. Bro. That was such a good conversation.
Yeah, yeah.
We went around, put our opinions revolving around the question: is it worth it to have a social life in high school? And I think there are a couple actionable steps, but these are just opinions that I put out, and Cam did too. I think just the biggest actionable step that you could take is if you have too big of a social life or one that is detrimental, you need to learn how to say no. And we have
Hmm.
to do this as well. I have to definitely improve on how to say no while still sounding like it's a positive thing. So really rejecting and declining the invitations to go out, even if it sounds like it's gonna be good, it's gonna be fun.
Hmm. Let me think. Another thing we discussed was the girls and just having a social life in general. It's like if it's like it's just like an investment. Don't think of it as an investment, I guess. Think about how much you can give, but also think about your return on investment. Are you actually getting anything back from it? And then that's how you should decide whether or not you should go out or you should have a girl.
Stay optimal, bro. Stay
Hey
optimal.
yo, remember to be optimal.
Stay optimal, bro.
Give him the flex. Go,
Optimal, bro. Yo,
what's up,
your
my
been
boy?
kicking in.